Very nice. That was a joyful noise. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Sarasota. My name is Mary Lou Keller. I'm Vice President of our Board of Trustees and a longtime member of the Worship Committee, which coordinates Sunday services when our minister is out of the pulpit. I would like to extend a special welcome to any visitors that we have today here in person or via live stream, hi, and invite you to visit the church website Visitors Center. We also invite you to register in our virtual guest book so we can send you our newsletter, The Contact, and please read The Contact. There's lots of important information there. And you'll be sent a Zoom link to our online meetings. There's one on Friday afternoons I go to almost every week. It's a lot of fun, 5 o'clock. There's also a donate button on the home page if you'd like to make a donation online. You're welcome to stay for coffee hour after the service in the courtyard. And today, there will be a special congregational town hall meeting to discuss the proposed budget and name change, how the board operates, and much more. We hope many of you will attend. So 15 minutes after, go get some coffee, then come back in here, but don't bring your coffee in here because we're not supposed to drink in here. And now we have a special message from our stewardship team from Robin Schoenberg to inspire you as you consider your pledge.
Hello, I'm Robin, and I go to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Sarasota. And for our stewardship campaign, We Can Do More, you've seen testimonials about how we are active doing social work in our community. But for me, our church is a place where I can share my thoughts and ideas without any judgment, and I can explore things that are meaningful to me, and I can be with other people who want to make the world a better place for everybody. And I feel like a lot of people would be interested in hearing about our church and what we have to offer, but we need help getting our message out to all different kinds of people in all different kinds of ways. And so we really need somebody that is dedicated to this cause, and we can do more to help people find us. So please give as generously as you can.
Thank you, Robin, for taking the time to make that thought-provoking message. And it's true, the more money we get, the more we can do. And we would love to spend some money on social media. So that's one thing she was talking about. If you haven't had a chance to pledge, please visit the stewardship table right outside in the courtyard during coffee hour, or you can donate online with that donate button. There's a special incentive now for the next few weeks, a gift card for $150 if you pledge during our time period. And I'd like to invite George up here to light the chalice for me. Thank you, George, from our RE. As we light this chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, we acknowledge one of our sources of inspiration, direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder, affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces that create and uphold life. That's what Fred Johnson is going to do for us today. We're going to have a little transcendent wonder. And it's my deep honor to introduce our guest musician and speaker for today, Fred Johnson. Fred is dedicated to the journey of creating space that serves to manifest the restoration of our highest energy of humanity. That's a great thing to be dedicated to. An acclaimed jazz vocalist, sacred chanter, storyteller, author, and arts educator, Fred is a graduate of the National Academy of the Performing Arts, as well as the Master Performing School of the National Mime Theater. His opening for Aretha Franklin and Deepak Chopra, among other legendary talents, points to his versatility as an artist and as a healer. He's recognized globally for his work in the health and wellness community, as well as his extensive work in international interfaith peace and reconciliation. His offerings include lectures and seminars re-accentuating the importance of creative expression and the sharing of story as catalysts for personal and communal empowerment, health, and healing, and giving voice to the voiceless. Mentored by the spiritual masters of the African oral and percussion legacy, Fred has been hailed as one of the true guardians of an oral tradition transplanted and nurtured to create a fusion of cultural heritage that is uniquely American and inherently African. His 50-plus years of experience as an artist, arts administrator, and educator has uniquely equipped him to be poised to both create structure and artistically inspire. Fred was the first performer at the David A. Straz Jr. Center for the Performing Arts when it opened in Tampa in 1987. And he currently serves there as artist in residence, community engagement / diversity and equity specialist, hope he keeps that title, and he coordinates the Arts and Health Initiative. I saw Fred perform here on Friday at the Sarasota Jazz Club, and I encourage all of you to consider attending the Friday afternoons at 2 o'clock here in our sanctuary. It's got to overlap with us. So welcome, Fred. The stage is yours.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. It's great to be here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Well, you are in magnificent voice, so I thought we would start out by singing together a song that I've had the joy of singing all around the world. It's a joyful song that really kind of speaks about the beauty and importance of every single day. Whether it's cloudy or not, the blessing of just awakening in the morning and having the opportunity to breathe in to the glory of a new day. So I wrote this song for a play that I created about 25, 30 years ago. And I'd love for us to start out with this beautiful sentiment. The words are, today is a new day, the sun is in the sky. Today is a new day, the sun is in the sky. Can't you see the sunlight shining so high? Can't you see the sunlight shining so high? Come quickly, I've something to say. I'll wake up this morning and greet the new day. Oh, 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 it's wonderful. Oh, 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 it's wonderful. Are you ready? So we'll do a little call and response. I'll sing the phrase and you sing it back to me, okay? Today is a new day, the sun is in the sky. Sing. All right, now you're just a little bit behind the beat. You gotta just gotta pick it up a little bit. I'll speed it up a little bit. Just feel that downbeat. Here we go. Today is a new day, the sun is in the sky. Sing. Today is a new day, the sun is in the sky. Today is a new day, the sun is in the sky. Today is a new day, the sun is in the sky. Can't you see the sunlight shining so high? 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 Come quickly, I've something to say. Come quickly, I've something to say. I wake up this morning and greet the new day. I wake up this morning and greet the new day. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. All right, great. Now we're going to speed it up. Are you ready? Here we go. Today is a new day. The sun is in the sky. Come on. Today is a new day. The sun is in the sky. Today is a new day. The sun is in the sky. Today is a new day. The sun is in the sky. Can't you see the sunlight shining so high? 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 Come quickly, I've something to say. Come quickly, I've something to say. I wake up this morning and greet the new day. I wake up this morning and greet the new day. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Two more times. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah. Today is a new day. And so that wonder we feel each day when we awaken and we open our eyes, and yet again we are given this beautiful gift of life, transcending mystery that embraces us. How blessed we are to have this great moment, to come together, to know and realize the power of community. Oh, great transcending mystery, which we seek to understand. Embrace us in this moment as we journey to discover the beauty of a joyful noise. We take this moment to honor all those who have gone before us. Our ancient ancestors from north and south and east and west. We breathe into and honor those who walk this land before us. May we acknowledge them with every beat of our hearts. And so as we move into this time of silence, may we quietly, with every breath, thank you, great divine mystery, for this moment and for every breath. What does it mean? What does it mean, this making a joyful noise? What does it mean, this making a joyful noise? I remember when I was just a child, one of the first passages I learned was, make a joyful noise unto the earth, all ye lands. Seems sometimes like the joyful noise gets lost in the noise of the world. But what does it mean to make a joyful noise? This beautiful instrument I play today has a history of thousands of years, where someone was guided to take an old gourd and a branch from a tree and some hamstring and wind it tight and create a singing, singing, singing melody. Some say that they heard the birds singing in melody. Some say they heard the sound of the wind blowing through the trees, and they sought to find a way that they could replicate the sweet, joyful noise of nature. And now I sing in the tradition of the old ancient harp. about this journey to make a joyful noise unto the earth. It's all about breath, my friends. Making a joyful noise. So we explore some conversation about the possibility of what is this joyful noise thing and what does it mean? You saw in the bulletin that I was going to speak a little bit about spirituals and anthems and a little blues and a little jazz. But this journey of a joyful noise, as it connects to us and as it relates to our ability to feel whole and complete and to be connected and united, it starts with breath. The one thing that connects us all to this life's journey. Lots of conversation and lots of dissonance going on around how do we find this sense of unity? How do we find this sense of commonality? How do we find this sense of peace? I had a great old master teacher who said to me, you know, this unity, this harmony thing is as close as your next breath. Think about it. Matters not where you come from, matters not what language you speak, matters not how tall you are, how short you are, or if you have hair, if you don't have hair, it doesn't matter. The one thing that connects all of humanity, all creation, all created things, the one thing that connects us in every moment of our life is this: the breath of life. We all breathe from the same source. Matters not where you're from, where you are. The one thing, the one harmonic, the one connector to us is the breath of life. My great teacher, Baba Eshangi, said to me, Fred, where do you breathe from? You know, and I thought, well, you know, I got all this training. I mean, I've been to the National Academy for the Performing Arts. And so I said, Baba, I breathe from my diaphragm. I breathe from my diaphragm. He said, that's interesting. He said, when I breathe from the edge of the universe. And everything between me and the edge of the universe, I become one with. He said, that's our song. I said, what do you mean? He said, that's our song. He said, that's the song. That's everyone's song. And I said, what? He said, that's your journey, Fred, to remind people of their song. How many singers do I have in the room? Everybody raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand. Put your hand up. Everybody sings. Everybody's a singer. I've heard y'all. We should go on the road together. Everybody sings. But the reality of that is this. We tend to think of song in a commercial sense. But Baba said, you see, when we first come into the world, most people assume that the first sound that we make is... But that's not the first song that we make. The first sound that we make when we come into the world is we breathe in, we breathe out, and then we cry. He said, that is the song of the breath, the song that we sing every moment of every day. It's our beautiful song. It's what reminds us that we're alive. We take it for granted. We don't listen to it. But the song of the breath is your song. You have been singing since the first day you opened your eyes. I'll try not to hyperventilate. But that's the breath song. And it's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful, powerful song. It's your song. Some of us put melody on that song, but each and every one of us on that breath, that life sustainer, that unifier, that universal connector, each and every moment of our life, as our minds rattle about what to do, how to do. The breath song is there. Your song extended is your speech. It's your conversation. That's a part of your song. On the ether of the beautiful breath song, you put the vibration of your voice. You speak what you think. I said earlier this morning that, I'm always reminded of the fact that, the mystical concept that the longest distance traveled is the distance between the head and the heart. But it's that song of the breath that connects us. So I want you to think about that. Wow, I've got this beautiful song that sustains me. It's my breath. And one thing we learned from the dreadful pandemic is when your breath is challenged, it's the only thing that matters. We take it for granted, that breath in and that breath out. But that's your song. Now just do this for me, just one time. Just take a good breath in and breathe out. You hear that? It's like the sound of the sea. It's like the sound of the wind. Your breath song. Not only that, you don't just hear it, you feel it, but we take it for granted. So on this journey of understanding how to connect, our first connector is our breath. It's the song of the breath. It's really interesting, I was kind of preparing earlier, just to come out for our first gathering, and I didn't share in the song, and that's the other thing about textures, and this is a really, really important part of this journey of kind of taking a look at how music accompanies our understanding, If I sing, "Oh, say, can you see?" that represents something national. It represents something that links us one to the other in our country. If we sing a melody of joy, it uplifts us. But one of the most important frequencies in our song of this life, our breath song, is word. And what does word mean? First thing I want to ask you, and you don't have to answer this question out loud, but one of the most important joyful noises that we need to be concerned about or connected to or inspired to enhance is, what's the conversation that you have with you about you? What's the energy of how you speak to you about you? Is it a sweet song? Is it a sweet melody? Or is it a dissonant one? Because on the ether of the breath, our whole body feels that. First opportunity for making a joyful noise is to give ourselves permission to be self-nurturing, to forgive ourselves, to be loving with ourselves. There's a great frequency that rides on the song of the breath relative to that. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I should say. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree that every man should be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things I can do. Though I'm way overdue, I'd be starting anew. I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. Oh, I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea. And then I'd sing 'cause I know, yeah, then I'd sing 'cause I know. Yes, I'd sing 'cause I know, I'd know how it feels to be free. I wish I knew what it means to be free. These songs come from a tradition that gave voice to the voiceless. This tradition of the spiritual is a direct connection to the great connector to sound and frequency of intention. To sing about what we dream about because the reality of our existence was not that. At a time of enslavement, when there wasn't the freedom to go and be and do all that you could be, these songs were anthems of spirit, of hope, calling out to that transcendent mystery. I don't understand, I don't know, I'm not sure why. Why do I feel like this? Why must I live like this? There must be something, someone, some great power. You see, that's the energy of seeking to make a joyful noise to give power when I feel powerless. There's energy in how we speak. There's energy in what we put into the air. There's energy in our intentionality to be for the other what we ought be so that we can be whole and complete. I know that that is the journey of Unitarian Universalism. To be in those places where hard changes need to happen. To be in those places where wrong is being done and we endeavor to create right. But it all starts right in here. One of my great teachers said to me, stop focusing on doing and start realizing being. Make a joyful noise is that conversation, that internal conversation inside of us that allows us to realize there's more. There's more that I can be. Who do I choose to be? Because it's not about doing, it's about being. That great journey between the head and the heart. We have to choose to be differently in the world. Right? That's a part of the melody of our song that we want to include in our life. So, you know, when you look at the great tradition of spirituals and the blues, you know, and jazz and gospel music, when you listen to the Temptations, when you listen to the energy of that, it's all born out of a progression. It's all born out of a need and a desire. Folk who worked in the fields, you know, they needed that internal strength. I love so much, Mary, that you mentioned that transcendent mystery. That's what we dance. We dance in the world of transcendent mystery. But we have to call it forth. You know? Call it forth. Feel it. Allow that to be a part of our song. Allow that to be a part of our personal empowerment. In our prayer and in our meditation, in our conversation with that transcendent mystery, to be able to say, you know, and you know what? How many people here sing in the shower? Come on. Right? right? You're in the shower, the water feels good. You're washing your hair if you have any hair. You're doing your whole journey, and you hum, you sing your favorite song. It's not because, you sound like, whoever. It's because you're loving it. You're feeling it. I just read an article a while ago about the felt sense. That's where the joyful noise come in. What's that felt sense, right? Close your eyes for a minute and let me ask you a question. Where's your favorite place to be? Where is your favorite place to be? And even if you don't necessarily have one now, when you think about a perfect place, where's that place? Where is that place? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you hear the sounds? Because it's felt. That's what making a joyful noise is all about, is feeling it. All right, what's your favorite food? Can you taste it? Yeah, you can. I see people all broad smiled now, right? Because you feel it. It's a felt thing. That's the power of the song. So how do you feel? What's the song? What's the frequency and the vibration of the song that you speak to you, or that you choose to speak into the world? To recognize and realize that, the reality of harmonic resonance is that all sound is resounding in the universe all the time. We only understand or hear a certain spectrum of it. But I was moved when I really remembered this song. And we moved it to here, and it felt so different. Words of power and hope that meant a totally different thing. But that's why it's so important for us to listen and hear and feel each other, so that we'll know the reality and not be afraid of it. Why? Because when all is said and done, we're like flesh, bones, energy. That's how we get to know each other, by being together, by hearing and understanding each other's stories, by feeling the frequency of that. You remember when radio, I grew up in New Jersey, so, I listened to WABC, out of New York City. But, the great thing about radio during that period of time is every day, everybody heard everybody's music, right? You'd hear the Beatles, you'd hear Herman's Hermits, and then you'd hear the Four Tops, and then, we heard everybody. Symphony Sid, there was jazz, there was classical music. I remember I heard Mario Lanza. We used to have music appreciation. Why? Because music, the joyful noise is a part of our whole existence. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I love it because my granddaughter, she'll say, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, Mother's motion, bleed, Q, R, S. But we could feel the melody, right? We could feel the melody. Because music touches us in a different way. You like the sound of the wind, or the way the wind, unless it's a hurricane, but the way that the wind feels when it's blowing through the trees. Or if you're down by the water, and maybe now you're holding your nose a little bit because of the red tide, but you can feel the frequency of the song of the water as it rushes the shore. We want to know each other better, then make a joyful noise and seek to understand and hear the melodies of us all. Everybody who likes music here? Yeah, there you go. I've never been anywhere in the world where when I asked that question, people didn't raise their hands. We may not like the same kind of music, but we're called to love music. We're called to connect to music and rhythm, because scientists say that when you're in utero, while you're preparing to come into the world, you entrain to the sound of your mother's heartbeat. We know rhythm. We know the rhythm of life. But we move through our life up here in our heads, but we got to dance between the head and the heart. That's how there's a coming to be, an understanding of a coming to be, right? Here's the other thing too. This is kind of a technical thing. I will tell you that, you know, I studied at the National Academy, and then for 7 years of my life, I lived in the world of silent theater. You know, I had gone to visit my mom and dad in Trenton, where I grew up, and one day I was staying in New York, and I came home to see my parents, and I went past the library. And there was a placard outside. It said, appearing today, one day only, from the National Mime Theater, Kenyon Martin, master teacher, master mime, student of Marcel Marceau. And I had seen on TV this show, back when TV screens were like this big, of Red Skelton and Marcel Marceau, the American clown and the French mime. And so I knew about this mime thing, right? And I was in New York trying to get gigs. You know, I was auditioning for shows and stuff and not being real successful at that, right? So anyway, I said, well, let me just go in and check this out. So I went into the library, and Kenyon Martin came out, and he performed for like an hour and a half. And during the course of that time, he created multiple characters on the stage, and, you know, the classical things. I mean, you know, he was a master of that, right? I mean, it was like I could feel the characters. I could feel the melody of the flow of how he worked on the stage, and I was mesmerized. So afterwards, I went up to him and I said, you know, Mr. Martin, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like this. It's just amazing. I said, you know, I would really like to study. I'd like to know more about this art form. And he said, well, you know, do you have any experience in mime? And I said, no. I said, you know, some dance, because I'd done a lot of musical theater and, you know, and I had studied and stuff. And he said, well, I'm holding auditions in Boston in September. And this was like June. He said, you know, if you're interested in studying, you know, try to get a little bit of experience and, you know, come and audition for the school, and we'll see what happens. And I said, great. So I did that, and that's a long story, how the process that I went through, but I went to Boston, and I auditioned for the school. I got accepted in the school, studied in the school for 3.5 years, and became a member of the National Mime Theater. And so for like 7 years, I did no singing. It was all in the world of silence. It was all in the world of gesture and characterization and understanding, you know, how to recreate things in life. And I swear to you that those 7 years of working in the world of silence awakened me even more to the power of sound. You know, Miles Davis, talking about jazz, would say, the reason why the music is so hip because it's the space in between the notes. So in that song of the breath and in that conversational song, do we think about the space in between? Do we think about the power of the breath? Do we think about how our presence, because, you know, in classical theater, the thing is, and Sammy Davis Jr. used to say this too. Sammy Davis Jr. said, when you walk out onto the stage, just by what he said, just by the breath of your presence, you should be connected to everyone. They should feel you. That felt sense. Do we feel each other? Is the melody of our being together, do we feel each other? We can. Children get that. You know, they're little, sometimes they don't care. But you know, they're like doing their thing, and, you know, and they're creating characters, and they're doing whatever, and maybe they can't even speak that well. You know, and you know what, we're just amazed at them, unless they get a little loud, and then we make the mistake of saying, shh, 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 shh. And so then the song of the breath gets a little quieter, and they get a little quieter. But we need to be able to speak out. Remember back in the 60s when people would pay all kind of money to stand on the side of a mountain and go, ah! Oh, that felt so good. But we forget. And what is that? That's breath and sound so that we feel. So make that joyful noise so that you can just feel the joy of being. Feel the joy of being alive. Watch how easy this is. Repeat after me. La 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 la. Ma 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 ma. Oh. Yeah yeah. Oh. La 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 la. Mama, 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 mama. You're a little slow on that one, but that's because we get used to a certain pattern. We get used to a certain speaking pattern because each of us have invested a lot of time in developing a way of communicating with others that feels good on the inside. If you feel good in the way that you speak, then you're comfortable with that. But we have all these muscles, right, that we don't use. So we want to create that. I encourage you. Those are articulation exercises, right? Ma ma ma, la la la, wa wa wa, da da da, fa fa fa, wo wo wo, na na na, wow 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 wow. I used to do that when I was a kid, and people would be like, "What?" But I'll tell you, if you're ever, I might have said this before, but if you're ever like in Publix and there's a really really long line, you know, and you're just there with your cart, just start, na 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 na, wah 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 wah. People will get out of your way. You go right straight to the front. That's the beauty of our voices. We have a sense of the power of our voices. But I encourage you today to explore the reality and the beauty of the melody of your voice, the melody of your speech, the melody of your sweet breath, the exploration of understanding the diversity and the beauty of song. So many times in my life, I've been in places in the world that were in conflict, and I would play a drum, just the rhythm, and just begin to just share. Sumbere haya, because from my heart, the melody of my intention, from my heart, to just be present and to not just be heard, but to feel. You know how it is. You know, if you're wanting to communicate with somebody that you really care about, you go deep into your breath, look them right in the eye, and speak with more breath than you usually do. Why? Because that's our connector. Is this journey of the breath, this song of the breath, this joyful noise of breathing in and breathing out, this joyful experience of recognizing and knowing. So be in the melody of gratitude. Be in the melody of love. Remember Nat Cole, remember that great song, and then one day, one magic day came my way, and as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Sing a love song, a joyful love song to you within you. Breathe in and be grateful for the journey of life itself. Breathe in and recognize and know that just the gift of being in and of itself is great. In what we choose to do to manifest change, breathe into it, feel into it. It's not enough for us to just want it here. We have to combine the head and the heart and choose to sing a melody of being that's different. Sometimes my head swells up a little bit, I guess, when I sing. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. Come quickly, come quickly. I've something to say. I wake up this morning and greet the new day. Oh, it's wonderful. What can I know today about another soul that's with us? What can I feel and know? How can I choose to be differently so that we can change the world one heart at a time, one breath at a time. Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you.
Fantastic. That was wonderful, Fred. The offering will now be taken and gratefully received. Thank you, Don, and welcome back from vacation. It's good to have you back. I close with these words from the Inuit shaman Umvanku. The great sea has set me in motion, set me adrift, moving me like a weed in the river. The sky and strong wind have moved the spirit inside me, till I am carried away, trembling with joy. Thank you again to Fred Johnson and Don for the gift of music today. And join me as we extinguish this chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community.